Hello students, in this video we will be discussing about some important concepts in economics, or we can say that some important vocabularies in economics. The first one is absolute advantage. Absolute advantage means when a producer is able to produce greater quantity of a good at a lower cost or at the same cost compared to that of his competitors. Absolute advantage occurs when a producer is able to produce the same quantity of output at a lower cost compared to its competitors. So, in two ways, absolute advantage can occur. In the case of trade between countries, the country which is having absolute advantage over the production of a commodity will gain more. For example, if I am able to produce one bag at the cost of price of 100 rupees, but my competitors are able to produce the same bag, same material bag, one bag at 150 rupees. So, I am having an absolute advantage. So, absolute advantage is one of the reason why countries are taking part in trade. The next topic we will discuss is budget, surplus and budget deficit. Budget is the financial statement. If it is the financial statement of a government, we will say that government budget. If it is concerned with an individual, we will say that individual budget. Budget surplus means when the revenue is more than that of the expenditure. When a government's revenue is higher than government expenditure, we will say that the government is having a surplus budget. It shows the strength of the economy. It means that the government is able to manage effectively its finances. In the case of an individual, if the revenue is more than the expenditure, we will be able to save a particular amount of money. Whereas budget deficit means the expenditure is more than the income. This will leads to government debt or public debt. In the case of an individual also, if we are having expenditure more than our income, we will have a deficit budget. Next, we will discuss substitutes and complements. If two goods are consumed simultaneously, we will call these goods as complements. For example, socks and shoe. When we buy socks, definitely we will be having shoe also, or we will buy shoe, because these two goods should be consumed together. So, these type of goods are called complements. When the price of a good increases, then definitely the demand for the complement goods decreases, because they are complements. Suppose if the price of a socks decreases, then demand for socks will also increase and demand for shoe will also increase. Whereas in the case of substitutes, we are consuming a particular commodity in the place of another commodity. For example, tea and coffee. When we take tea, we will not take a coffee at the same time. So, these goods are called substitutes. When the price of tea increases, quantity demanded of coffee will increase, because people will shift from tea to coffee. So, these are some of the important concepts that we discussed. There are other concepts also, interesting concepts also, that we have to learn in this vocabulary session, that we will study now. So, students, we will continue with important concepts in economics. Next is business cycle. A business cycle, sometimes called a trade cycle or economic cycle, it refers to a series of stages in the economy as it expands on and contracts. Constantly repeating, it is primarily measured by the rise and fall of gross domestic product in a country. It means that if the country is having high national income or high gross domestic product, we will say that the economy is in a boom state, raised state. If the GDP or national income is low, we will say that the economy is having a slow phase. So business cycle means up and down will be there. Up means business is booming, down means business is slowing down. Next is cost. A key concept in economics is the monetary expense incurred by organizations for various purposes, such as acquiring resources, producing goods and services, advertising, and hiring workers. In other words, cost can be defined as monetary expenses that are incurred by an organization for a specified tilling or activity. It means that to produce something, you need cost, you need resources. As you know that there are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and organization. So to produce a particular thing, you need all these factors of production. For this, we have to incur cost. So for a production, there will be a cost, and we will term it as cost of production. Next is consumer surplus. Consumer surplus is an economic measurement of consumer benefits. A consumer surplus happens when the price that consumers pay for a product or service is less than the price they are willing to pay. It is a measure of the additional benefit that consumers receive because they are paying less for something than what they were willing to pay. It simply means that suppose to have a mobile, I am ready to give 10,000 rupees. To purchase the mobile, I am ready to give 10,000. But the shop owner tells that you need to give only 8,000. I am willing to pay 10,000, but actually I am paying 8,000. So this 2,000 rupee is my consumer surplus. Competitive market. It is one where there are numerous producers that compete with one another in hopes to provide goods and services we as consumers want and need. In other words, not one single producer can dictate the market. Competitive market means in which there will be many sellers. They are competing with each other. For example, soap industry. In soap, there are different brands. There are different sellers. Next is capital. Capital refers to all man-made resources used in the production process. It is a produced factors of production. It includes factories, machinery, tools, equipment, raw materials, wealth, etc. The payment for capital is interest. Next is diminishing marginal product. Diminishing marginal productivity suggests that managers find a marginally diminishing rate of production return per unit produced after making advantageous adjustments to inputs driving production. It means that when you are employing a particular factor of production increasingly, then after a point, the marginal productivity or the contribution of that productor will decline. Next is deadweight loss. Deadweight loss, also known as excess burden, is a measure of lost economic efficiency when the socially optimal quantity of a good or service is not produced. It means that when in the case of a production, there is a point of optimal production. When we are not producing a commodity in a socially optimum quantity, we will have a loss in economic efficiency. That we will term it as deadweight loss. Diseconomies of scale. Diseconomies of scale are the cost disadvantages that economic actors occur due to an increasing organizational size or in input, resulting in production of goods and services at increased per unit cost. In diseconomies of scale, what you are telling is when the post production happens, the production is happening if at an increased per unit cost. Maybe because of organizational size or the input which we hired. This will lead to diseconomies of scale. Next is equality, efficiency, and export. Equality is about ensuring that every individual has an equal opportunity to make most of their lives and talents. Equality means everybody is having equal chance. Efficiency is the state or quality of being efficient. Export. Export refers to a product or service produced in one country but sold to a buyer abroad. For example, in India, if I am producing a bag but I am selling this bag in America, then what I am doing, I am exporting this bag to America. Next is equilibrium. It is a state of balance, especially between forces or influences that are working in opposite ways. In economics, equilibrium is the point where demand is equal to supply. The price at this point is termed as equilibrium price. So, a price which brings equilibrium between quantity demanded and quantity supplied is called equilibrium price, and the state of economy is called equilibrium. Next is elasticity and economic profit. Elasticity is an economic concept used to measure the change in aggregate quantity demanded of a good or service in relation to price movement of that good or service, which means that if price is increasing, quantity demanded also changes in a very vast way, then we will call it as perfectly elastic. So elasticity means that change, how much change is happening when price changes, how much changes is happening in quantity demanded. Economic profit. An economic profit or loss is the difference between revenue received from the sale of an output and the cost of all inputs used, as well as any opportunity cost. Economic profit means if I am producing a bag, the cost of production is 100 rupees. The selling price is 150 rupees. So for me, the profit is 50 rupees. Next, economies of scale. Economies of scale are cost advantages reaped by companies when production becomes efficient. It means that when I am producing a particular commodity in an efficient way, I will get some profit. That is called economies of scale. Fixed cost. Fixed cost is a cost that does not change with an increase or decrease in the amount of goods or services produced or sold. That means the cost will not change with respect to the change in quantity. Factors of production. Productive resources used to produce a given produce are called factors of production. These productive resources may be raw materials, services of various categories of labors, or capital supplied by capitalists, or entrepreneurship of an entrepreneur who assembles the other factors of production. These factors or resources are also called inputs. Thus, the factors of production are traditionally classified as land, labor, capital, and organization. Production in economics is understood as the transformation of inputs or factors into outputs. So, factors of production means to produce a particular good, you need labors, you need land, you need capital, you need a producer. So all these factors combinedly work together to produce a particular good. So all these factors are called factors of production. Whereas in production, it is transformation of inputs or factors into output. For example, I am having leather, I am having belt, I am having zip. Using all these things, I am making a bag. You understood? So we are transforming these inputs into outputs. I hope all of you understood these concepts. Thank you for listening. If you liked my video, please do suggest this channel to your friends also. And please like the video. Thank you.